Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the host of the Late Night Drip podcast, Tyler Wynn. I'm joined here by my co-host, Rymac, the Ryan McMahon man. How you doing tonight, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you doing?
Man, doing fantastic. Up here in the beautiful Aiken, South Carolina, in a crack motel. I'm trying to save some money.
Hey, man. We've all been there before. I'm no stranger to that. So,
man, it makes you appreciate the finer things, man. It really does.
It really, really does.
Yeah, man.
So, this is it. This is our first ever live stream, first podcast, this is the birth of the beginning.
This is it, man. And I'm glad we're sharing with people, man. I mean, the whole point of this was just to do it, man, you know, to get our message out there, to get our voices out there. And the thing is about sharing this experience with everyone from the beginning. You know, you get to see our failures, you get to see all the bad stuff, but you get to see all the good stuff too. You will be there for all of our successes, you know, and you get to be a part of it. So
yeah, I think one of the main things is that we were just tired of sitting on the sidelines, you know, and I think if anything that anyone gets out of this is to do the same, quit sitting on the sidelines and go out and find what you're passionate about and just do it. Like, so what if you mess up? You know what I mean? So what if you fail? You can only learn from your failures, and you grow as a person with each failure. And whenever you're successful, you can look on it and laugh because you've done all these things to get to where you are. So don't be afraid and put yourself out there and do it, you know? I mean, that's what life's about, right?
That's right, man. And we're just two bros, man, that we got a vision, man. And, you know, we're going to share with everyone.
So I guess a little background on us. I mean, how long have we known each other?
God. Since, well, it's been over a decade.
It's been over a decade. It's probably been close to about 12 years.
Yeah, dude. I think it was about 19, 18, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm 30 now, so yeah.
It's been a wild ride, that's for sure.
I know, dude. We've had many a good times, some hard times too. Mostly good though. But, man, I would not have changed anything, man. It's been a hell of a ride with you, man.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, I guess you know, really
what Late Night Drip is.
Yeah, so this is just something that we came up with, and I guess we need to explain what the drip is to you guys. So, what is the drip? I'm sure you're asking yourself that. The drip applies to all aspects of life. The drip is you being at the top of your game. It's having absolute swagger. It's nice clothes. It's the fancy cars. It's also the progress. The drip is a constant step towards your goals. Taking territory, fast or slow, the drip is your effort getting closer to your goal. The drip is small steps taken every day towards your goals. Just like water, one drip has a little strength, but a consistent and unrelenting drip eventually grows into an unstoppable force. The key point is consistency. You have to continually step in the arena day in, day out. People may criticize you, but their opinion doesn't matter. You are in the arena. You are the master of your destiny.
Yes. That's it, man. Get in the arena. You know, no more sitting on the sidelines, man.
That's right. Just jump in. It's your time to shine. You know, you are the star of your own movie, and it begins today. Really, really, it does.
Yeah, dude. So, hey, this is our first live stream. So you want to give like some background on yourself? What do you do? What's your thing?
Yeah. Sure. So I've been doing electrical work for past 10, 12 years. And recently got into the solar game. So it's a little side hustle of mine that I do. And I really got to thinking what kind of led us to this point was I was at a job site. I was sitting in the truck and I was like, there's so much potential that I just haven't tapped into yet. I just know it's inside of me. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, how do I reach this point to where I know I can be at? So that's where I came up with the idea of late night drip. And essentially, it's those who work the 7 to 5, but they grind at night because
Mhm.
the hustle never stops, you know?
That's
So, yeah, so electrical work, solar, and now this. So,
you've been in
eventually,
construction for a long time.
yes,
Yeah.
I have been. Um, and there's nothing wrong with doing any kind of blue collar jobs. I think a lot of times blue collar guys get shit on, because
Dude,
it,
you ain't lying.
it's dirty work, and a lot of people don't want to get dirty nowadays. It's just the reality of it. There's so much money to be made doing so many other things, and the tradesmen as a whole are kind of they're not as respected as they should be with what they do in relation to how the world works. I mean, where would you be if you didn't have plumbers? You definitely wouldn't be flushing the toilet. I'll
Yeah,
tell you that.
you're right, shit creek.
So,
But no, man, I mean, I 100% agree though, man. I mean, like there's this, like you said, this misconception about like blue collar people like being like the dumb ones, the low lives or something like that. Like, oh, they don't amount to anything. Well, that's not true. I mean, some of the wealthiest people that I know personally are just like big time construction workers who started out with a trade and then they started their own business, started their own thing, and they grew and they grew and grew. Then they hire people who went to college to do all the stuff they don't want to do, all the paperwork, all that crap. And that's fine, whether you go to college or you don't. But like you said, though, there is like definitely a stigma there. But the thing about blue collar work, I think you agree with too, is that it it sharpens you. It gives you this level of tenacity, this level of motivation that I don't think you're really going to get anywhere else. Through hard physical labor, where you literally have to work your body to death to make some money. Like you're going out there, every day you're going to wake up and go and suffer to a certain extent, right? To pay your bills. You're not going to sit in the AC all damn day at a bank or something. But by doing this day in and day out, it makes you a stronger, human. It makes you a stronger person.
I definitely agree, and it teaches kind of putting yourself through the pain to receive the pleasure, and shorten
Yes.
term,
Yes.
because it's hard, it's painful. I mean, on your body, on your mind, like I I don't think a lot of people understand how much mental force goes into coordinating a job site or looking at blueprints and then actually building the things and then putting it together and then the outcome is a building. It's
Yes.
not to say that essentially a paper pusher isn't an important job, but
Yeah. I get what
it's
you're saying.
it's completely different, and you kind of have this unrelenting outlook on life, with how things work. So, but how about you, man? What do you what tell them about you, Tyler?
Oh man, the T win. So,
Team
born
Money?
and raised in Pensacola, Florida. Yeah, I get up. All my friends call me T Win. I don't know why it's kind of stuck. I think it kind of started because it was me. I'm a Tyler, and then we had another buddy named Tyler in the group for a little while. So they started calling me T Win, and they would just call him, his last name like T, whatever his last name was. So, but it kind of stuck. And but anyway, so yeah, grew up in Pensacola, Florida. Just kind of had a somewhat, mostly normal childhood. Dealing with your parents splitting up and all that stuff. And we weren't poor, but we weren't rich by any means either. I'm pretty grateful for what my parents did do for us, me and my sister. But anyway, I get out of high school and I actually was in the top 2% in the state of Florida as far as like test scores and stuff. And I declined a couple of offers and little things I got, for here and there because my mom told me that if I did not go to college, I would not amount to anything. And I'm just someone who thrives off proving people wrong. And at the time, mom didn't really have the best relationship. So all it did was just light this fire under me. Like, okay, so I'm gonna take someone who supposedly has this book smarts, and I'm going to apply that to just working my ass off and see where it takes me. And basically, I did a couple of different construction jobs here and there. Was doing all right. Ended up Getting a DUI when I was 21, it kind of set me back a little bit. And then let's see, I was working as a bouncer on Pensacola Beach and doing carpentry work during the week. And then my buddy called me up and said, "Hey man, you want to come start traveling and sandblasting and painting?" I said, "Well, sounds a lot better than what I'm doing right now." So that was almost 10 years ago. And I started out sandblasting and painting. And then next thing you know, after like 2.5 years, I was a foreman. And for some reason, I was only like 24, like years old. I didn't understand it. I didn't want the job. It just happened. And next thing you know, I just kept busting my butt and trying to be the best person I could be. And now, and I've achieved the next step up, which is an inspector. So now I inspect foremans and I do quality control work and quality assurance. And I travel across the country and overseas I represent coating manufacturers. And then, what's funny is that I did all that, instead of going to college. And now my job is to tell these college graduate engineers why they're wrong all day. And I kind of slightly enjoy that just a little bit,
Love it,
like
don't you?
just deep
It's like
down.
whenever you're looking. It's
Yeah,
like when
deep
you're looking.
down. But I mean,
Go ahead, man.
no, man, but I mean, it's just what really changed was, I think kind of going back to what this whole podcast is about, late night drip, man, is like, it's just, you got to take that step. I could have just stayed depressed and, just stay where I was at and just work like mediocre jobs and just barely get by, and just party on the weekends. But I didn't want that. I wanted more. I knew there was more out there for me. And I just always believed that the more you put into anything, the more you'll get out of it. So I said, I want to put everything I have into me. So, I mean, like I took that step to leave my hometown and start traveling. And it just had this fire under me ever since. And like, that's what I do. I just do things. Like I'm a person who I have two different sides. I either go and do stuff and everything is great. Like if I want to go do something or there's a goal I want to achieve, I just go after it. Right. I don't care about the steps and what it really takes to do it. I will figure it out on the way. But if I'm not doing that, I become a very strong overthinker and then I will do nothing. So there's no in between for me. And it's taking me a long time to figure that out. So like whenever I have like these ambitions and stuff, just like you want to do this podcast with you know, just do it. Just go after it, man. Because I feel like I am taking territory. I'm taking our steps forward, which is part of what we're about. Because I'm a big believer in that and taking territory. So every day, taking territory just means you're taking steps towards your goal. You're taking ground. You have something in your sights and you're going after it, whether it's one step, two steps, or big ass freaking bound. And that's what I just am about. And I can tell a big difference in myself when I'm not doing that. I don't know about you, but like if I like am constantly ignoring these things that I know I need to do, because I know it's going to pay off in the end. If I don't do those things, I feel like shit. And then I retract, I regress. So like that's just like I don't want to be like that because my life just does nothing but get crappy when I start doing that. So that's my role. I guess with us is I'm the pusher. I'm the doer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to make myself look stupid. That's just how I am, man. So I guess that's a somewhat brief, somewhat long summary on TZN.
Oh, well, Tyler, that was a great introduction, man. That was truly beautiful. That entire monologue that you had there, I loved it. But definitely, man, like that's exactly what this is about. Like I have all these great ideas, and sometimes it's being able to find the avenue to do them. And what we're really here to do is build a community, right? We're here to collaborate off of people who want to chime in or join into our movement and be a part of something bigger than just themselves, right? It's
Absolutely.
about a collective of ideas. If you've got an idea and you don't know how to get there, you need reinforcement or some sort of backbone or a group or a community to help push you to that limit to where you felt that you couldn't get to before. And that's really what we're about here, is striving to push people to something that they thought they could never achieve, or giving insight on an idea or a way to do something that you would have never thought about how to do before. And that's I wanted to get these ideas out and I couldn't figure out how to do it. And then it just hit me one day. I think we were playing disc golf and I'm like, bro, let's just do a podcast, man. Like, let's
Yeah,
just put
we are
ourselves on
complete disc
YouTube.
golfers. Yes.
And I, because we were having so much trouble finding the people that we needed. So why not just put ourselves out there and let people find us? And then
Yes.
as a whole, we'll create something better than what we are today.
You're stronger and faster, man.
So
But absolutely, man. I mean, that's just what this whole movement is about. I mean, that's what we're trying to start here. Is this a message? It's a movement, and eventually, this will lead to a community. Maybe one day, and that's just what we're doing.
and if we even help just one person out by putting
Yes.
ourselves out there like this, I mean, then I think we've done more than 99% of the world's population. You know what I mean? Like, because in the end, we're all together, right? It's
Yeah.
it's
Well, the
really
biggest
about
thing is stepping out of our comfort zone. I mean, that's the biggest thing because nothing good in life happens in your comfort zone.
no. You're 100% correct on that, because if you're tired of the shit that you go through every single day and you keep
Mm.
going through it, nothing else is going to change. So you have to be that change to step outside of what you know and be something that you aren't really. And it turns you into a better person along the way. Like,
Yes.
so amazing, amazing.
No, completely, dude. And that's the thing. It's that you build momentum. The more that you do, the more action you take, the more territory you take, the more momentum you get, and then it becomes almost second nature. You know, and you
That's
just kind of
exactly.
like you start out forcing yourself to do things that are outside your comfort zone. Towards your goals, and then next thing you know, you're just after a few weeks, it turns to like a few months, and next thing you know, you're doing all these things just naturally, just by habit. And that's kind of like what, I think everyone should strive for. And it could be multiple different ways to do that. Um, I mean, like me, like I'm getting back into the gym. Like I've been like really hitting it hard here, trying to get back in there. Cause like, I know like when you first met me, I was like, what, super fucking jacked.
You're
Uh,
jacked all the time, man. 24/7.
that's all I
Rip.
did. All I did was just work out and work and just party on the weekends. That's all I did.
I was gonna say work and party. That was it. That's all we
That was
did.
it. We had some fun times, but like, that was it. But like, it's just fun. It's amazing to me. I've noticed like in the past couple like days going to the gym, it's like, you know, like I remember just going to a gym and just like turning my brain off and having like this hour and a half workout like it was nothing, right? And like now, like I'm like something like getting back into that flow. Like I like go to the gym, I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do next? Ooh, should I do that? Whatever. I'm like I start like second guess myself. I'm like, no, 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 just shut up. Just just do what you know.
I
Do
think
what
the
you
biggest difference from back then to now is I think we've lost a little bit of our drive. You know what I mean? Like back then we
know.
were so young and so ambitious. I mean, we're pushing 30 now, and we just had all this drive to aspire to do all these great things, and then it just kind of feathered out, and it just, I don't know where it went, but now this is happening, and I feel that momentum going back. You used that word earlier, and I
Yes.
love that word. Like, I feel the drive coming back, and I wish we would have done this years ago, but
You ain't lying, dude. Me too.
um, yeah, I mean, it's amazing the way I
It's also
recently
accountability.
went to the gym too. Like, I
Yeah.
just went back
Yeah.
and just did another workout. Like, man, dude, I feel mentally aware. It's a
Yeah.
really good feeling. My body feels like it's like, oh, you're pushing 30, yeah, all right. We're back in
Mm-hmm.
our 20s, prime time, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Prime time. Prime time right back. God, dude. Yeah, that new gym's open by your house.
I, dude, it's nice in there. It's nice.
Is it?
Yeah, so they've got a whole rack of dumbbells now. Like used to, you had to fight people to get on the dumbbells. Now
Yes.
they've got 3 rows going all the way up. I don't even know what the max is, but
Yeah,
it's pretty sweet, man.
that's awesome, man. I'm gonna check it out when I get back in town, man. Yeah, I'm kind
Definitely.
of excited about that.
Oh, and they also have the what's that bed called? It's not the tanning bed. It's like the infrared, the Ray bed with it's like the red light or the pink light.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
supposed
it's like the
to heighten
infrared light.
your
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna check that bad boy out too.
right. Yeah,
So
yeah. That's a whole nother topic you can get into right there. The benefits of red light. God, man,
the red light district, that's it.
red
Yeah.
light, this man. But yeah, dude. Also too, like it's accountability though. Like that, I think this is also a way for me and you to have accountability. Like today I had a long ass fucking day, and just dealing with a bunch of stupid stuff from back home because I'm in the process of opening up a business for the almost 3 years now because we hired a crappy contractor who tried to screw us over the entire time, and it cost us a lot of money. But we're moving past that, and we got a new guy, and everything's working out, man. But like, I was laying in bed, and you texted me and reminded me, like, "Hey, man, we still on for a night? Like, you good for a night?" And I'm like, "Fuck, I'm tired. Like, I don't like fuck." And I'm like, you know what? Fucking no, I'm doing this. Like, we're getting on this. Like that. It's just and like those little things of accountability, like it adds up. Just like everything else you do, and that's just like that little step for me getting out of fucking bed after my long ass day of work and open my damn laptop up and doing this. That's just another form of it.
That's because we've become so accustomed to getting inside of our comfort zone, and that's what's comfortable to us. And it's like putting that extra effort into something, and that's what the point of having this community is like pushing each other. Because I'm not even gonna lie to you, man, I was halfway hoping that you said no, not tonight, but you know what, you responded and said yeah, I'm good. So I'm like, fuck.
But hey, that's the honesty though, man. Like I don't want to come on here and like be fake. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to like show people the real, experience, man, the real, T win. Like I want to share, like we talked about at the beginning. I want to share the struggles with you. Like look us right now. We're both doing this on our laptop, right? Eventually we're gonna get some nice camera equipment and have hopefully our own little studio and stuff, But like this is from the I want to share, everything though, all of the failures and all the success, because I mean that's the thing too. I think most people they're afraid to do things because they're afraid they're going to fail, and I only believe that you only fail when you actually give up.
100%, man. I 100% agree with that. It's what this is overcoming your fear to put yourself out there, overcoming your fear to not live up to somebody else's expectations, and do it for the personal journey, and do it because you want to become a better person, right? Not because somebody wants you to do something, or your parents want you to become a doctor, so you go to med school or whatever. This is about finding something that you're passionate about. Sitting there whenever we came up with, for those who work the 7 to 5 but grind at night, you know what I mean? Like it just doesn't stop, man. And you have to push yourself to a level to where you're outside of your comfort zone, because you're not going to do anything other than what you're already doing unless you push yourself to do it. And that's
one of my favorite quotes is, a boat is safe in the harbor, but it's not what it's made for.
Yes, 100% correct.
So 100%. It's like, yeah, we're safe laying in bed. We're safe sitting on the couch naked eating Cheetos, and but it's not Mountain Dew. It gotta have the Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew Zero, man. It's healthy, but it's not gonna get you anywhere.
Speaking of that, though, man, like I was on this
Cheetos or the company.
No, man, I was on this soda kick for like so long, and like even eating fast food, man, like I just felt like hammered dog
Mm.
crap every time I would eat out or something like that. And I just recently got back on this water kick, man, and I feel a lot better, about myself and about there's so much sugar and
Oh yeah,
processed
how much
stuff.
water are you drinking a day now?
Right now, I'm probably up to I'm not at a gallon, but probably around half a gallon to be honest with you.
And that's
But
still a good amount. Yeah,
I've cut out soda. Like if I
yeah.
drink soda, it's maybe like a half a glass. Like I bought a bottle of Mountain Dew earlier and I drank half of it, like I was just like, oh, it's not doing it for me, and then I grabbed a bottle of water, slammed that down.
So I have like a weird relationship with sodas because like I like the the initial taste of it, but after like 4 sips, I'm done. So like my wife, like we don't ever buy soda because I never finish them, and we don't want to waste. So I mean, like I'm all for that, But like even today, like I stopped by Subway. I'm on the road, and I stopped by Subway, got 2 subs, one for dinner and one for breakfast slash like a mid lunch tomorrow when I'm at the job site. And like they're like, "Hey, you want anything else to check out?" And I'm like, "Fuck!" I see a Sprite like just sitting there staring at me, like in the cooler, And I'm like, "Fuck, I'm gonna get that Sprite." I haven't had soda in like 2 weeks. I'm like, I'm gonna get a Sprite. And it's gonna be awesome. And dude, I got that Sprite and I got out to the truck and I cracked it open. I went and played around disc golf after work too. Forgot to mention that. So I'm freaking, I'm freaking sweaty and I'm fucking thirsty. I'm just dying for something to drink. I'm like that fucking Sprite, dude. I took like one big gulp. I haven't touched it since. So now I have this like a gulp minus a gulp Sprite over here to corner that I will never fucking finish. So like, yeah, I sodas. Yeah, I don't know. My body, like, I want the taste of it, but my body does not want it itself. Like, once my body gets this, like, man, this isn't what I wanted. Yeah. Yeah.
It's all about overcoming your mind. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
like your mind is telling you that you want something, but your body is gonna reject it. It's
Mm.
almost like a false sense of gratification, I guess you could say. Like
Mm.
you really think that you want this one thing, and then as soon as you get it, you really don't want it that much anymore, right?
Kind of like the
Because
grass is always greener concept.
exactly like that,
Yeah.
because it's it's a very interesting topic, and we may have to dive deep into this at a later time. But
Oh, yeah, we can talk about whatever we want. It's our show. That's the part. We can talk about anything we want to, you know?
oh yeah, I mean,
Obviously, we want to give some good content. We'll keep it somewhat structured, have a purpose, you know what I'm saying? Have some, keep it in line. But hey, we can talk about a little shit here and there.
yeah, no doubt. That's the quirks of the show. You know what I mean? We get a little sidetracked. But
And if you don't like it, you can start your own show. Talking to you, Bob. I see you. I see you.
oh man. So anyway, back to
Yeah.
back to
Yeah.
who we are and what we do. Like it's late night drip, baby. This is it. We just those who work the 7 to 5 but grind at night. If you're tired of where you're at, then do something different. Really, that's all there is to it.
Yep.
And another thing that we did talk about last week, and I want to make a point of this, is that whenever you make decisions in life, you can't look back on what you did. And you don't have to turn around to remember where you came from. Because if you're not progressively making strides to become someone better, then what are you really doing? You're regressing.
Yes.
And you don't have to turn around to remember where you came from. You said
Exactly.
that to me, and it just really, really stuck with me. And I
Yeah.
just wanted to share that with everyone else because it's so true. Because if you think about it, whenever you're riding a motorcycle, I'm not sure if there's any motorcycle riders, but whenever you look at where you're going, that's where the bike is going to go. And if you're turned around on a bike, you're going to crash. But you don't have to remember that there's a stop sign. You don't have to turn around to know that there's a stop sign behind you.
Mm.
And it's just a perfect analogy of, I think, how life works. You're just
Mhm.
the direction you're looking is where you're gonna go, and then whenever you turn around, you're gonna be nowhere other than where you've been. And so I appreciate those words of wisdom, Tyler. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
man. I just think too many people, they try to live in the past, and you can never live in the past. So what you do is you bring your problems from the past to you right now. So problems that you've already dealt with, problems that you've moved past, you keep bringing it back up. What I'm saying, to yourself, and it could be something simple. Like for instance, my dad committed suicide. And it was a very rough time. And like you know I was kind of out of it there for a little while. I had to deal with that. And I did get over it. But every now and then, like I don't know, like it'll be like the weirdest thing. Like oh fuck. Like the other day when I was back in Pensacola, like something happened and I was like, damn, I want to call my dad and tell him about that. That'd be pretty cool. I'm like, oh yeah, he's dead. And then like you have like that split second, it's like, that's fucking really sad. Like Tyler, that really fucked you up. Like, let's dwell on that. And I'm like, no, like I already dwelled on it. I've already been there. That's in my rear view. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's there. I don't have to sit here, drive, and turn around to know it's there. That's just kind of what I was getting at when I was telling you that. It's like, I know it's there. I don't have to keep looking back and keep bringing it back up. It's like, no, I remember where I was. I remember where I came from. I don't have to keep living in it. Because like you were saying too, you go where you're looking. So my goal, and when I'm a goal, my vision is always looking forward. You know. So that's kind of what I was getting at when I told you that.
No, beautiful, man, beautiful. I love it. And to any of you out there, that's maybe that helps you in something that you're going through. This
Mhm.
is what it's about, is really the community building together and being better and learning from other people, because we can't live every experience ourselves, but we can learn and we can grow. And maybe we know somebody who is going through something that somebody else we know has gone through, and we can share that experience with them and
Yeah.
help them go through that experience, so to make
Yep.
them feel like they're not alone, right?
Exactly, man. You have just little drips of knowledge from everybody. You know.
That's it. The
Little
drip of
drips of
knowledge.
wisdom. And like it's funny you say it though. It's like with in my construction career, like I've always made a point to listen to what people have to say to me, because you know how it is. You start on a job, nobody really, they don't know you, they don't trust you, they don't know how much effort they're gonna put into you. You might be some lazy punk who's gonna quit in 2 weeks, right? But like as you start working around people more and more, especially like the older people, the more senior people, who are well seasoned there, they're the professionals, they know what they're doing. They start seeing that work ethic and they start trusting you. It's okay. Well, this guy obviously ain't gonna quit. He's got some tenacity to him. So I'm gonna start giving more effort to him. I'm going to start teaching him things, right? And then like going from that is then they start telling you things and they will tell you about their mistakes. They will tell you like, hey, don't do this because this is what's going to happen. Why do they know that? Because they did it and everything went to shit, right? And like people hear shit like that. Like I know people like you see them all the time. Probably coworkers. Like you try to tell someone something, they don't give a shit, or somebody else, like some old like wise guy who's been doing shit for 30 fucking years, try to tell some young buck, don't do this shit, you're gonna fuck up. And he's like, yeah, whatever. You did that, not me. You know. Well, you're about to fucking do it too if you don't fucking listen. Like you know, I don't have to make the same mistake that Frank did to learn the same lesson. You know.
That's, that's exactly it, man.
He literally is. You have people that will come in your life and they will give you their lessons learned. They will give you a lesson without you having you experience the turmoil and the pain from it. And like me, I've always made a point to listen to these people. And 90% of the time, it's pretty good stuff. You always have like that 10% of people who usually you can kind of tell, like, okay, this guy obviously is not someone you should be listening to. I think he lives under an overpass, he might tell me raccoons can talk to me in my sleep or something. I'm like, okay, well, I get it, but I'm not gonna listen to that. you know. It's just
Most of them older guys like that, they don't talk to hear themselves talk. So whenever they say
yes,
something, you better listen because you're about to royally fuck something up if you don't. Yeah.
yeah, dude. Like I know whenever I was like when I became a foreman, I fucked up like so much. Like I fucked up a lot of shit. You know, most of the time it was just like okay, like a little $1,000 fuck up here, a little $10,000 fuck up here. You know, luckily my company believed in me. But then all of a sudden, like I'm on like year 2.5 of being a foreman, almost 3, and then like oh shit, like that time I fucked up. Actually, that situation comes up a lot. But guess what? I fucked up one time, and I learned from it, so I don't make that mistake again. You know, and then like now, like I have learned a lot from fucking up, and it's funny because like I'm an inspector, but I do have a lot of experience in this specialized industry that I am in. So like I go to job sites and like I just point out things to people. Like I don't have to. I ain't gotta do that. But like I've been in the contractor shoes, I've been in the foreman shoes, I've been in the sandblaster shoes, I've been in the painter shoes, and I was like, hey, if I know something, I'm gonna bring it up if it's important, you know. And it always makes everybody else's jobs easier, you know. And but like and like they're like, how do you know all that? I'm like, well, because I made that mistake. I fucked up. I did what you were about to do, and I'm trying to stop you from doing it. You don't want to get that phone call from your boss saying you fucked up some $10,000 piece of steel, or whatever. Because I got that phone call, and that phone call sucks, you know. So it's just kind of cool. Like now I'm thinking about it, it's like the it's almost gone full circle. It's like you know I had some older people talking down to me, and then now I'm like giving out advice, and like it just kind of happened. You know, like you don't really realize it. It just happened.
It feels
Yeah,
almost surreal whenever it does happen, you know, like it's like
yeah,
it's a very, very strange feeling.
yeah. But to get back on topic though, to draw us to bring us all back together, to go full circle in this conversation, like we're saying in this community, we want to bring all aspects of people, and there are going to be people. I guarantee because there's not like a single problem on this earth that someone hasn't already been through. You know, like there's always somebody who's gone through it before, like you were saying, you know, earlier. But you get a community together, and we will push each other and drive each other, you know, and help each other out when we can. You know, that's what a community does. It's a tribe,
And
building a tribe. You know.
the tribe, yes, yes, sir, the tribe. So to kind of wrap things up, you know, I just wanted to add to we're not just here to be a talk show, right? We're here to find people to collaborate with, to bounce ideas off of, to bring into our circle because we've got a couple big projects coming up that are going to be
Yes.
really, really massive. And, you know, you can't tackle life by yourself, really. And you have to find a team and you have to find a community and you have to find a tribe to stick with that has each other's backs. And we are looking to bring some other people into our tribe, not only as a viewer, but as someone who can contribute to the movement.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to go into too many details about, you know, our upcoming projects that we got going on, but they're going to be really, really big. So just stick around, stay tuned, and you'll we'll be dripping hints and knowledge out there. So
When the news comes, I think everybody's gonna be very very surprised, and it's gonna be a hell of an opportunity that I think a lot of people are going to want to be a part of. But it is now May 10th. It is 10 o'clock where I am. Freaking A, man. I tell you what, though, thank you for all the viewers we have. Thank you for anybody who's joining us tonight. Please reach out to our social media, which we can link down in the description. And I tell you what, Ryan, let's send these motherfuckers home.
appreciate you guys being here, and we'll catch you on the drip later.